What to know about flood insurance. It's a pretty boring topic, but at least I'm here to help. So if you're interested and want to know more, stay tuned, and we're about to get started right now. Hey, it's Kasie Gray, your homegirl broker associate here in Ukiah and flood insurance expert. I mean, you know, as expert as can be. Probably not. But if you are planning on buying a house, flood insurance could possibly be a cost that you're going to have to occur and pay and deal with. So let's talk about who needs it, why you need it, how to make it cheaper, and some other things in between. So if you live in a flood zone, then you will need flood insurance. If you are getting a loan and the natural hazards disclosure report states that you are in the flood zone, your lender will require you to have flood insurance. So what flood insurance does is cover you if a flood happens. They created these flood zones, so not everyone has to have flood insurance because, you know, if you live in the desert, you probably don't need flood insurance if you don't live near, you know, water and you're not going to get flooded. So they created flood zones so that they would know who is in the area where it's possible that you'll get flooded. And if it's possible, then you want to have that additional insurance so that you can be covered, and so that when, you know, you have water damage to all your property and your belongings, you are able to get covered. You know, just like home insurance, fire happens or something like that, then you'll be able to get money, unfortunately. So if you live in a flood zone, which is, you know, a couple different neighborhoods, a couple places near, you know, creeks and streams that could possibly, you know, in the past 100 years, maybe flooded at least once. Flood insurance is an additional payment that you're going to have to make that's separate from your regular insurance. The same insurance agent will be able to get you that policy, but it will be a separate policy. So just like your regular homeowner's insurance, it needs to be reviewed annually. Make sure you have enough coverage, make sure you're, you know, paying enough, make sure that you're not paying too much if that's, you know, the case, but usually it's not. If you do need flood insurance and the property doesn't have an elevation certificate, that is something that we can get done while in escrow so that you can provide that to your insurance company and they will reduce your insurance amount. So say you live in a flood zone, but your house, the way it's built, the, you know, level of the garage, the level of the house, whatever it might be, states that basically you're not in a flood zone. Like your house personally isn't in the worst flood zone, you know, like it would have to be like a 50-year flood for it to happen and affect your house, then they'll reduce your insurance and make it a little bit cheaper. So that's highly recommended to get that done if the seller doesn't have that. A lot of the times, if the seller's been the original owner, they might not have it just because they bought cheap insurance a long time ago and just continued to use that policy, you know, different situations. So that is something that can cost about $500, but in the long term will save you a lot of money. So that is something that will definitely get done. If you have any additional questions about flood insurance, I'm happy to connect you with an agent that will be able to answer any questions, because I am not an insurance agent. I just know these things from buying and selling houses in areas in a flood zone. So if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll have some info down below. And like always, make sure to subscribe, like this video, tell your friends, and I will see you in the next video.